Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Cameron's latest stint was as a figment of Sharon's drug-addled imagination, so it's hard to see how or why he would ever make an appearance again. The man is dead after all. That said, Linden Ashby is open to a young and restless return, perhaps as an entirely new character. Ashby's run as Cameron wrapped up just days ago, when Sharon finally bid adieu to the version of him that she created in her mind to help her get through some incredibly traumatic experiences, while conjuring up the man she loathed, not to mention stabbed to death. Seemed a curious choice. It all came to make a twisted kind of sense in the end. Of course, Cameron was the unflinchingly blunt apparition who coaxed Sharon into what turned out to be a bloodbath in Daniel's apartment, and got her deeper into trouble by coaching her through an ill-advised cover-up. Not to mention framing Daniel, but it was also his strength and resolve she called upon to endure the situation. After it was revealed that she'd been dosed with PCP and wasn't the killer, it was Cameron she summoned once again when she was trapped in the sewer. This time, he helped her see the situation for what it was and pushed her to fight for her life. When all was said and done, Sharon said farewell to the blood-soaked and disheveled illusion in a surprisingly touching scene that included him giving her a kiss on the cheek. The takeaway? As Sharon was struggling through these dire circumstances and fighting for her family, freedom, and sanity, she was also, in a way, working through traumatic feelings left over from taking her abuser's life. What emerged, from a viewer standpoint, was a unique, although certainly bizarre relationship that we kinda loved. Due in large part to the chemistry between Ashby and Sharon case, some fans even wished Cameron could return so they could become a pairing. While that would never happen for a couple of reasons. The man brutally beat and terrorized Sharon, and is as dead as a character can get on a soap opera. There is another possibility that could make an Ashby/Case on-screen reunion a reality. In speaking to Sode after his most recent departure from Young and Restless, Ashby reflected on one specific means that would allow him to return to the soap and give fans what they want. When asked if he considered himself lucky to have been brought back, he acknowledged, "Not a lot of people get that," before laughing. "And now I'll be, his brother. Could it actually happen?" Teasingly he added, "We'll see." While it would definitely be a stretch for Sharon to fall for someone who even looked like Cameron, it might be one we could take given the type of resolution she had with the version of him in her mind. It goes without saying that stranger things have happened on soaps. Of course, Cameron having a twin brother is all wishful thinking at this point. But there's nothing wrong with planting a seed of an idea with the Young and Restless writing team, right? The world of the Young and the Restless is no stranger to shocking twists, unexpected returns, and dramatic family ties that rock Genoa City to its core. Just when viewers thought they had seen the last of the chilling menace that was Cameron Kirsten, played by the talented Linden Ashby, a new rumor has surfaced, one that could send shockwaves through the show. Could Ashby be making a return, this time as Cameron's brother, seeking revenge? Soap fans know that death is rarely the end in Genoa City. Villains disappear, only to resurface years later with a vengeance. When Cameron Kirsten met his demise, viewers sighed in relief, especially Sharon Case, who had long suffered under his sadistic grip. But Ashby himself has hinted that this might not be the last we see of him. In a recent cryptic social media post, the actor teased, "Genoa City's not done with me yet. Some legacies don't die so easily." This single statement sent fans into a frenzy, speculating that he could return as none other than Cameron's long-lost brother, determined to avenge his siblings' downfall. If Ashby does return, it would make sense that he'd take on a brand new role, while still carrying the same chilling energy that made Cameron Kirsten one of Y and R's most terrifying villains. A brother seeking retribution? The possibilities are endless. Cameron was a man driven by power, obsession, and cruelty. His reign of terror over Sharon and Nick left an indelible scar, and his demise was as satisfying as it was necessary. But what if he wasn't the only Kirsten with a twisted sense of justice? Imagine this. A mysterious stranger arrives in town, charismatic yet enigmatic, his piercing gaze filled with unspoken rage. He watches from the shadows, observing Sharon, Nick, and anyone else who played a role in his brother's downfall. Slowly, he weaves his way into their lives, perhaps under an assumed identity, before revealing his true intentions. The Young and the Restless has a long history of introducing characters who seem harmless at first, only to later reveal their dark, sinister agendas. Ashby's new character, let's call him Caleb Kirsten for now, could follow in those footsteps, slowly infiltrating the lives of those responsible for Cameron's death. Perhaps he arrives under the guise of a businessman looking to invest in Chancellor Winters, or as a charming newcomer who takes an interest in one of the show's leading ladies. What if he cozies up to Sharon, playing the role of the caring, understanding stranger before she starts seeing flashes of his true nature? The fear of history repeating itself could haunt her, making for a gripping storyline. Meanwhile, Nick Joshua Morrow could be the first to suspect that something is off. He might start digging into Caleb's past, uncovering fragments of a terrifying truth that only he can see. While revenge for Cameron's downfall is the obvious motive, what if Caleb has his own agenda? What if he blames Cameron for their family's tragic past? Perhaps their father was an abusive man who drove Cameron down a dark path, and now Caleb sees Sharon as the key to understanding, and possibly even redeeming, his brother's memory. Or maybe Caleb was always the more dangerous one, the true puppet master behind Cameron's actions. What if he had been pulling the strings from the shadows all along, feeding Cameron's worst instincts? Now, with his brother gone, he steps into the light, prepared to finish what Cameron started. If Ashby returns as Cameron's brother, his presence will shake up multiple storylines across the canvas. Sharon's trauma reignited. After everything she has been through, Sharon has fought hard to reclaim her peace. But if she finds herself being haunted by another Kirsten, it could send her spiraling. Will she stand strong, or will the ghosts of her past consume her? Nick's protective instincts. Nick has always been Sharon's rock in times of crisis. With Caleb's arrival, he might feel an overwhelming need to protect her, potentially driving a wedge between him and Sally. Phyllis' curiosity. No one loves a mystery more than Phyllis Summers. If she catches wind of a new player in town with secrets to hide, she'll dig until she finds the truth. But will she bite off more than she can chew? Victor's suspicions. The great Victor Newman has a nose for trouble. If Caleb's business dealings cross into Newman Enterprises territory, he won't sit idly by. Could this set the stage for a Newman versus Kirsten war? In a recent interview, Linden Ashby hinted that he wouldn't mind returning to the Young and the Restless in some capacity. Cameron was such a deliciously dark character, he said. I had a blast playing him. If there's a way to bring me back in a way that makes sense, I'd be all in. When asked about playing a twin or a long-lost sibling, he chuckled. Hey, stranger things have happened in the soap world. And let's be honest, Genoa City could always use another villain. His words were enough to set social media ablaze with speculation. Could this be the next big arc for Y and R? Fans are already theorizing about how a Kirsten brother storyline could unfold. Some are excited by the idea of Ashby playing a layered villain, one with more depth and mystery than Cameron. Others wonder if Caleb could start as an enemy but later redeem himself, perhaps developing real feelings for Sharon or turning against another greater villain in the process. One user on Twitter wrote, "If Linden Ashby returns as Cameron's brother, I need him to be even scarier but in a psychological way. A true puppet master." Another fan speculated, what if Caleb pretends to be a good guy at first? Maybe Sharon starts trusting him before realizing he's more dangerous than Cameron ever was. Whether or not Ashby returns as Caleb Kirsten remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, The Young and the Restless thrives on suspense, and a plot like this would keep fans on the edge of their seats. A return of this magnitude would inject fresh energy into the show, delivering the kind of gripping, slow-burn drama that soaps do best. If Ashby steps back into the fold, his character could be a game-changer, shaking up relationships, exposing hidden truths, and proving that in Genoa City, the past is never truly dead. Would you like to see Linden Ashby return as Cameron Kirsten's brother? If so, how do you think his storyline should play out? One thing's for sure, if this theory turns out to be true, Genoa City is in for one wild ride.